Hi, I'm Vasundhara. I welcome all of you for this brand new episode of Nav Durga series. Nav Durga series is 9 women related challenges, and we are trying to discuss it out with 9 powerful women and find out probable solutions. The journey has been very satisfying so far. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you have offered throughout this entire series, and we've reached last episode of this series. We've been receiving so many calls and so many messages saying that it so relates to what they have actually faced, and they've got new direction to their life, and that really satisfies us to the core. The last episode is little crucial. It's going to be around harassment women faces in the workplace. Lots has already been said, lots has already been discussed and shown in different medias. But still, I was shocked when I heard that International Labour Organization has recently submitted the report for last year, 2022, and it says that 1 in 15 women employees still experiences sexual violence or harassment. That definitely is a concern for all of us. So I thought it's a must that at least our last episode of this Navadurga series should explore or voice out or look at it little differently than maybe it has not been seen so far. This topic, we have our Durga today, Chandra Balakrishnan. About Chandra. She's a very close friend of mine, and half the world knows about it. All those who don't know will realize it during our discussion on this topic. But why I thought of Chandra when I thought of this topic is because not just because she's been part of RBI for 36 years, but for last 15 years she's been part of counseling sexual harassment cases. And even when now she is retired, the counseling continues. Other than being part of training and learning and development in RBI, she has been actively involved in trade union. She's also been associated with a cell which actually promotes awareness about HIV and AIDS. And she has been an NLP practitioner and NLP coach. But today, why it's so relevant to have her on board today for this discussion is because she's seen this journey of training around sexual harassment, sexual violence, and seen the other side too. And I remember during certain discussions that there were some insights that are still never discussed openly. So this, interview is going to be very interesting. Thank you so much for accepting my invite, Chandra, for being here on board. I know you didn't have much choice when I called you.
Vasu, you are a friend,
Yeah.
and I definitely feel that it is your right to call on me
Yes.
whenever you feel
But
the
I
need.
couldn't think of anybody else when I thought, I was really scared to even discuss this topic because it's such a thin line, Chandra, and that will anyway, come in course of our discussion today. The first question that I want to ask you is, why is it still happening? Why is it the percentage is not going down even after so much of training is happening, even when so much of awareness is there? We have so many educated women who are there, who know their rights and who know how much of government support they have. Still, why do you think cases are still on rise or not still going down?
It is very difficult to bring down the cases because even when it is happening, how many women come forward and express explicitly that they are being harassed? In most cases, it's a big no because they always feel, what will I be looked at as? What is the prospect for me after my complaint? will my career prospects be hampered?
Correct.
Now, here we are talking of the organized sector, but when there are more cases in the unorganized sector, where most people don't know what is happening, and even if they know, they don't know where to go. Though, of course, the government has got so many training programs, they have the first training programs, etc. But how many people take it seriously? And the main lacuna here is for the big corporates or the small corporates or for any employer, though the government says under Vishaka guidelines, there should be a committee, there is no penalty for not having a committee, and many employers get away with this. Now, this becomes in the corporate level, but in the unorganized sector, for example, if you think of a housemaid or a lady who is working in the bhaji market, whom does she go to? At the most, she might approach a goon who says, "वो देखो मेरे को क्या कर रहा है." But then, after that, what happens? The goon himself wants to take advantage. That happens in the unorganized sector. But right now, we are talking of organized sector. Yes, see, even before the Vishaka guidelines came in 1997, there have been many cases, very famous. The most famous of them can be said to be that of KPS Gill and Rupan Deval. Rupan Deval was a senior police officer. She complained against KPS Gill. It was in 1988. The case went up to the court. He was found guilty, but not one single day was he in prison. Instead, you find him being awarded so many things. So, what exactly is the message that is being sent out by the government also? So, is there a solution? Yes. The solution lies with each woman herself. She should be very clear as what she wants and how she wants to be treated. Yes, you might think, when I am being very clear about how I want to be treated, I am not willing to fall a prey to harassment. Initially, somebody might try to push you down. You might feel your promotional avenues are, you know, shrinking. But once you make yourself clear that this is what I am and this is what I stand for, believe me, people will respect you. Yes, there are always people who have got that, weird, wired mentality where they feel, woman is a woman is a woman and it is our birthright to harass her. Such people, you need to pull them up. If your organization does not have any mechanism for redressal, go to the police. This is one place where the police mostly are helpful. And if at that base level in the police station they are not helpful, you always have got a chance to go higher up, go up to the DCP level. If not that, the State's Women Commission is always willing to lend a hand. They are willing to hear you out, and when they issue directives, it is normally followed by all the persons concerned.
I think what you said makes sense because in one of the article I just read that even when we are saying that the number of complaints are so less, those also actually don't represent all. It's only 1% of the women who experience harassment actually go forward and report. So that means the number is actually much more
Much
than
more.
what appears in the report. That is one part. And secondly, Chandra, as you said, still, I think the definition or there is no clarity on what we can really refer as harassment. We are still talking about maybe sexual contact, sexual gestures, but mental harassment also comes as an harassment.
Yes.
So, can you throw some light on it?
So, if you Google it, sexual harassment in India, what are the parameters? You will get a list of 7 things, sexually explicit pictures, suggestions, etc., etc. But that is not the only thing. There's something more than that. You might have some colleagues who just call you, "Hi, beautiful," "Hi, honey." Now, on normal days, you might find it, "Oh, it's okay." That person's habit is doing it. But somewhere down the line, somebody might object. They're not like this type of behavior. would like something of very formal setup. For this person, even this small comment as "Hi honey, hi beautiful" can be termed as being a sexual harassment because this person does not like it. And it is the prerogative of the woman to decide what is harassing her, what causes her harassment, what causes her a troubled mind, because nobody has got a right to enter into another's personal space and pass such comments. So if you are not happy with it, if you are not comfortable, just make it clear I am not comfortable with this type of greeting.
So
Or
here I come to the very crucial question. This was there in my mind always. So this is a very thin line, Chandra, that one particular comment somebody like me may find I'm okay with it. Somebody, I'm just saying, somebody like you may find it really offensive. And I've heard so many, cases from few of my very close friends that during the interview, the interviewer just passed a general comment saying that, you have really long and beautiful hair. For me, it can be just a passing comment, but she took it completely offensive and she went out of the cabin and complained about this. This is one part. And secondly, once I may find it very comforting, just a casual flirt or casual comment by a friend. And when it is repetitive and with certain gestures, I may find it totally wrong. So, where do you draw a line for a man's perspective and for a woman's perspective? I think this is very crucial.
yeah, from a woman's perspective, I think a woman knows very well when it is a suggestive comment, when it is a flirt, or when it is just a compliment. And now it depends on the woman herself whether she wants to take it this way or that way, because that is the thin line, and she should decide which side she stands.
What she's okay with, what she's
What she
not
is
okay
okay with, what she is not okay with. She might be okay with the comment coming from one person, but not the same comment coming from another person. It depends on her equation with those people.
Correct.
Now, from a man's perspective, he has to read the body language of the person, because this is not going to come out as a verbal communication easily. If the man feels that his comment is disturbing somebody, he has to put a stop to it. There is no other question, because he can get into trouble later. But there are some, especially those, when you think of the hierarchy, the one who is sitting there, he feels, oh, it is my right to pass comment. Now, when that person gets into trouble, you can be sure that things can, go out of control. We have had so many cases where,
cases.
even a judge had to resign because of his comment. A scientist has to resign because of his comment. I know of so many such cases where a man at the top had to go because he passed comments. And then the defense comes as, oh, I didn't know that this could be construed as harassment. No, you know fully well it can be construed as harassment. So in this case, the men have to be doubly sure of what they are talking and to whom they are talking. They cannot take liberties. They cannot be over familiar. They
So I
have to
think
be
the
very
sensory
particular about
acuity
it.
part is
The
very,
sensory
very
activity part
important.
is very, very important,
And to
especially those
women
who
or
are.
to Durgas, are I think joint message can be very sure what you are okay with, what you
Exactly.
are not okay with. And the immediate question that comes to my mind, Chandra, is you did mention about training, and not every organization is taking it seriously because nobody is bound to. It's not mandatory. But one of the article which is published by Harvard Business Review really baffled me. It said that sometimes even the training backlashes, because when we start the training saying that men are the ones who have problem and we need to fix it, it's normal human reaction to this kind of an allegation that they will become defensive, and it seems counterintuitive to see the result of certain trainings. So, do you agree to this? First of all, has been certain you have seen experienced it something like that, And if yes, then what can be done about it?
Now, here, this is a really thin line because I have had a case when one lady came to me and said, I am being harassed. I said, in what way? She said, my overtime opportunities are being denied. I said, what happened? She said, no, the males are getting it, I am not getting it. So I said, let me find out why this is happening. So I met the boss, her boss, asked him, what exactly is the problem? Why is she not being given? Because she's complaining about it. He says, ma'am, but she has got a 4-month-old child at home. So I thought it would be
Ideal
better
for
for
her
her
to.
if she goes home early instead of sitting for overtime. Now here you see how the perspective changes. In her case, she wanted the money, but her boss did not realize that he wanted. I said, I think this is something you better call her, ask her, and if she's willing to do it, let her do it. And in this case, thankfully, a beautiful compromise was worked out where she didn't have to do every day. She did it only twice a week or thrice a week. But yes, when you go with the mindset, all men are bad. No, all men are not bad. For example, I know of a case where a journalist went out of his way to get some naval cadets. You know, they were court-martialed in the army, navy, etc. And the defense forces. They are court-martialed because when coming out, one lady was harassed by, harassed in the sense they passed some totally
Comments.
unwarranted remarks against her. And this lady, she lost her cool. So then the people surrounding her said somebody should do something about it. So since they were naval cadets, it was reported to the Navy, and then the Navy, see, being Navy, they want the cadets sort of closed ranks, and there nothing happened. So this journalist went forward and he said, "No, I was a witness. I saw this happen," and that boy was asked to leave. He was court-martialed and he was dismissed from service. So here you can't say all males are bad. Males are not all bad. There are people who are feminists and who want you to fight for your rights. But how many women are willing to come forward and fight?
That's
Again,
the
that is the
question.
question.
That's
So here the onus more lies on the woman to be very firm in what she wants. Don't dilly-dally. Yes, you might fall in love with a colleague. Be sure that you're only dilly-dallying with only that one and keeping only that one in mind. Don't play the field there. Don't show your oats there. Men do it. Because if men can do it, why not we? But then you're sending the wrong message. And for males here, you have to read the body language. That is your sensory acuity. You should be totally aware of what is happening there because males are getting into the wrong, you know, they get into the wrong side of the law and you don't know what happens.
okay. Yeah,
But it is not that harassment happens only to females.
I
Ha-
was just about to ask you that. Yeah.
Harassment happens to males also, and it is not required that males keep quiet. They should voice their concern because the wrong things, after all, a human being is a human being is a human being, a boss is a boss is a boss, can take undue advantage. So be very careful when you are dealing with your female bosses, especially if you feel they are taking undue advantage of you because it works both ways. It's a double-edged sword.
So, so
Harassment can
true.
be both sides.
So true. I think this is a very, very crucial topic, and so much already has been discussed, and we also can go on. But I think we've got the
Fair
gist of
idea
a
of what.
fair idea about what is the way forward. Is woman needs to know what she wants. She
Exactly.
should be able to draw lines, and men should be aware, have sensory acuity, and if somebody is uncomfortable, it's a total
No,
no.
no.
Okay.
A no is a no is a no. You cannot take no as ladies ka no. It's always a yes. It's never an yes. It's
Completely,
always a no.
completely. And my question too is, you did mention about unorganized sector or informal sector like maid servants or vegetable sellers or even those who are on freelance work, right? People who are consultants don't really go to workplace offices but do interact with men. how do you, suggest them, or what do you suggest them that their conduct should be, or how can they ensure that such thing don't happen?
Yes, sometimes over the phone, you are not meeting anybody, but over the phone, you know fully well when somebody is suggestive over the phone, make it very clear you are not comfortable and you are going to put a stop to it. Yes, probably in some cases you will find you need to talk to that person, but be firm and say, no, this is this. I cannot go beyond this. I don't want to put up with this type of behavior. And in the long run, it does help if you are firm.
Correct.
You have to be firm. Somewhere when you say you're going to be a Durga, take up the role of a Durga. Don't try to be a Shanti Devi and all that. No, it never works. Where you have to be a Durga, you have to be a Durga.
And some things cannot be tolerated,
It cannot be tolerated and
Correct.
will not
And
be
you
tolerated
yourself
and
can,
should not be
correct.
tolerated.
And you can be example for, because more women come
More
forward.
women come forward. There will be you can call it,
We can
it's an
normalize,
empowerment of women to come forward, and once these cases come outside, automatically they will reduce because people don't want to be shamed in public.
Correct. That was really insightful. Chandra, what's your message for all our Durgas now?
The Durgas out there, remember you have to live up to the name Durga. No being a Shanti Devi. Be clear of what you want and keep your dignity intact and refuse to be a prey to sexual harassment. And here by sexual harassment, I don't mean only at workplace, because at workplace, in many cases, there are men and women, husband and wife working together, and at workplace, the wife might be the superior, and at home, she faces domestic violence. In such cases, please bring this to the knowledge of officials concerned, because you need not put up with domestic violence, which again is a form of sexual harassment in your case. Keep your dignity intact. Don't fall a prey to any sexual harassment, and be sure of what you want. You don't allow anybody to cross the line, and you also don't send out wrong signals. That's what I want to say to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chandra. I think the coffee has gone cold because the topic was so close to our heart, and we were so passionate about it. We didn't bother with those
But
stuffs at
coffee,
all.
but anyhow,
But I
plain
think,
coffee is also
yes,
welcome.
yes. Thank you so much.